Midnight Spiritual Enlightenment Conversation. Within this conversation, I'm going to talk about three creatures: cat and the mouse, and the dog and the cat. They're chasing each other. You got to know which one you are and how's the game going. It's a game. It really is. It's crazy. And you got to try to see it from the perspective of a game. And only a man and a woman plays that game, not a gentleman and a lady. Only a man and a woman get caught up in that game. The cat and the mouse game, or the dog and the cat. Okay, sometimes the cat would chase the dog. Okay, and you gotta understand that's the man and woman's game. You don't want to get caught up in your man and woman. That's your cocoon. That's your learning stage. You're learning all this. You gotta admit to what you've learned. Because if you don't, you damn near repeat it. Understanding that is being aware of yourself and your higher self. Okay, I'm in this game. How do I get out of this game? You gotta know which direction you want to go. You can't go become a little girl no more. You can't become a little boy. You're playing a man and a woman's game. There's some risky business out there. You can have a child from this. You can become responsible for a lot of things, and you got to be aware of that and take that responsibility on. Again, God gave you 8 to 15,000 nerve endings. Okay, but you're just using it wrong, and you're persuading and motivating in the wrong way. You're looking for that wrong type of COD, that cash on delivery. And there's nothing wrong with that cash on delivery in any form. Man gonna have a bunch of nicknames to suppress you and hold you and make you feel guilty of. And God gave it to you to feel beautiful with it. You are that flower that's blossoming and blooming. You're just letting the wrong male pick it. And that male, it happened to be a man or a gentleman. You letting the wrong one pick it, pluck it. And God don't. It's okay He wants to motivate you to have a child for Him, not a man. And God ain't gonna accept a man. And you gotta ask yourself, what makes a better father, a man or a gentleman? There's so many different ways to ask that question and get the proper answer from. But you gotta ask that question within yourself. Within yourself. The creatures I'm talking about, cat, mouse and the dog, and the cat and the dog, and the dog and the cat, all them creatures, that is you and what role you play in this game. And I say it because we've been growing, you was raised under it. This is what my people been saying from the time I've been a child. And it took me a minute to understand the game. I explained, just understanding that. You're chasing yourself. You ain't nothing else you're chasing but yourself. Or you letting yourself chase you. You can't run from yourself. You gotta deal with yourself to understand yourself and see yourself at a higher level. I am a woman right now. What do I truly desire to be is that lady. You don't want to carry around the responsibility of the man in you. God don't want the woman in heaven's gate either. You got man in you. You won't let man through heaven's gate. So let go of that woman in you. Stop chasing the man that God ain't going to receive or accept. Why would you accept anything less than God? The only thing that God going to receive in the male and accept the male is a gentleman. So you should not receive or accept anything less than you. Accept a man and you accept a woman in you, and God ain't gonna accept that in you. So why, if you ain't gonna accept it being a woman, why would you accept a man? Accepting a man, you're accepting a woman in you, no matter what. You call him a man, he gonna act like a man, he gonna talk like a man, he gonna be a man. Don't be upset with God. And nothing wrong with a man or a woman, we just not right for each other. Understand that. Listen to the story and just feel. If you don't have a perspective on it, just try to take a perspective on me. It may help you get your perspective. My perspective, it's not that it's wrong. It may not be right for you right now, so stop looking for the wrong in it. Wrong is negative. Look for the positive. What can you learn from this positively? It's not me explaining what a gentleman is. It's what brings that gentle creature out in you that you trust with your man in you. But what is your man in you that you're going to trust another creature with it? What is to strengthen you? You just keep making yourself submissive and whatever else. You don't realize how strong you are. Because how strong you are is how weak you want to let yourself become with something else being responsible for you. Be responsible for that man in you, but you got to make sure that man is pure. If you get a weak man and you're stronger than what you chose, you're going to be frustrated with you when you really want to be weak. And you're going to realize it cannot handle the strength in you. You can't get mad at it or anyone else but yourself, because that's what you chose. That's what you chose, to let that man go through heaven's gate when it's not worthy to go through heaven's gate, because it did not handle you mentally and emotionally. And you rewarded it physically. Now you feel ashamed about it. Only you know about it. And to keep on liking something that you don't like yourself, that's a lie. A lie is a sin. It's not the sex that's a sin. God gave you 8 to 15,000 nerve and he wanted to motivate you, but you're using it as a lie, the wrong. The wrong. If you're trying to change something, no, you don't change it. You find what's best already died. God created it. He created. You got to be in tune with what he created that fits you, that you don't have to tell it. It knows because it's part of it. It's part of its celestial self. It's aware of itself on a much higher level. It knows what's the best orgasm? If a man asks you that, he asks you what orgasm better than my orgasm, you say your orgasm. And that's a mental and emotional orgasm, not just a physical orgasm. That is you releasing your egg and a worthy egg for God to build from. And when God takes the egg of a woman, a female, and the seed of a man, a gentleman, okay? Now we become together. That's a lady and a gentleman. A gentleman and a lady comes together. A man and woman, we're at odds. We can't blend. We're at odds. We're fighting each other when we are one alike with each other. And when we shift it just a little bit and come together with the Spirit of God between us and we bond it, it's bonded together. He placed it in a woman's womb. Now that fetus is one as the fetus. It's going to be born of that female flesh inside her womb for 9 months, 10 months. God can come there. He's going to put his thoughts into that child, male or female. The question is, what thoughts are you motivating for that female to put in herself where God can build within that child, connect her with that child? Don't 10 months is her time that she should meditate, think about her true thoughts. We know we want that baby to be healthy, strong, but you got to put deeper thoughts into it. That is the moment that you are connected to God. God is coming to your womb for 9 to 10 months, 3 trimesters. There ain't no moment in time when a human being is more connected to God is during the birth of his child. Believe in that. Think about that for a little while. And we see ourselves in that child. Now think about if you really put some thought in it. That child would come out and being truly aware that you was aware that he was inside you and she was inside you at that moment of creation. That the soldier that child is going to be is everything that you mentally and emotionally put in that child through your thoughts, through your soul and through your spirit. And you ask God to build that child in the capacity that it's going to survive the society that's set forth for him or her. Give them the mental and emotional capacity to truly believe in the thoughts that you're going to share with them to help them make them through their trials and tribulations. That's what we need to put in our child. Not to believe in religion. Religion is man-made. It keeps us separated. Not privilege. You don't learn from privilege. You learn from pride, the things that you go through in your life, not what's given to you. And somebody else's back and doing. What is good for that for you? What did you learn from that? Doors to be open for you easily. Okay? Understand that pride. Pride is something you learn, you grow, and you go through, and you ain't going to give it away so easily because it's something you went through. Pride will always be bigger than privilege. The pride to learn that every man that you've been with, you learn something about yourself. Who cares who he is? And the things that a woman go through with dealing with a man and still can take care of a family, her woman stage, she want to carry around that man in her all the time. And when she bring one in her life, she wants to be that lady. She don't want to be his woman. She want to be a lady. She want to let go of that man. She want to trust that he gonna have that mental ability to be able to have her. She want to be his. She want him to be his gentleman while she be his lady. I understand that, but she gonna have to learn how to let that go. And when she swell up and want to have to speak it and act it, that means she's being a woman. If she cannot hold herself back from speaking, and it has to come out, that means she's being dominant. And no man wants to deal with that. Man don't listen. He don't want to hear that shit. And the gentleman, you don't have to say it. So that means your woman's coming out and he's going to come to realize he's not enough man for you. He's going to still sit there and use it, but he can come and realize, I'm not enough, because she can't suppress the man in her. Don't allow him to think that. That is your fault. That's when you're going to lose him. Don't be willing to show that woman so quickly. If you got to swell up on him and become like a woman, then you're telling him you're not enough. He's not enough man for you. He ain't gonna become a great gentleman for you. And when he learns to keep that, and a man keeps it in his head, he don't talk about it. And when he does, you need to learn how to listen, so he can learn how to try to fix it. He'll try if you're listening, and if you know when he's speaking, because a man don't talk. And if he ain't talking about it, he probably gave up on it. He'll sit there for a little while and take it, and you better believe he's gonna look for that one that can and is willing to give up that man in him. He is enough man for him. But he will be having you on the side. That's a lie. Don't live another man's sin. Understand what you have before you make it something you don't want or you don't desire. And guess what? A desire's got a lot of your wants, so make sure what you truly desire, every one of your desire got a little bit of your wants from each one. They create that perfect you in it. It's not about him, what you want in it, from him in it. It's about what you want from you in it. Create you in him. Then you'll love to do you, and you'll love him when you're doing you within him. Okay? What you want to be. You want to be 6 foot tall? Then that's what you want in him. You want to feel 6 foot tall. And the motherfucker might be only 5'3". But if you climb inside that frame, you feel 6 foot tall. That's what you want to feel. Understand what's more important. It's not the physical of the looks of it. It's the mental and emotional feel of it. We look past the mental and emotional, and sometimes we don't get out. And you're only in a 5'3" body, and you feel 6'6". Okay, because society says 6'6", 6'6". Is that your 6'6"? Okay, you feel 6'6" and a 5'3". Lord only knows that nigga grew 6'6", and you grew him to feel 6'6". If you make him feel 6'6", you feel 6'6", and that's your soldier. That's your guardian angel. Understand what he's supposed to provide and do for you. You don't got to tell him. He gonna know, and he gonna show you in his gentleman stage that he knows, that he's fully aware. Don't ask for God already gave you. God gave you enough man, and you should never need, want, or ask for something he already gave. It's disrespectful to ask for something that you already have. And the day you let a man think you need him, they usually don't treat you correctly. And the gentleman knows this. He knows the mental and emotional and the physical. He knows how to display correctly to know that he knows. And if you don't got to tell him, and don't be wanting to tell him, even if you know he knows it. If you know he knows it, let it be. Let it be. Just respect it for what it is. Respecting is acting like you should be acting. If he's being a gentleman, you got to learn to be that lady. That's showing gratitude back. Not just talking about, be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Okay? You don't want to tell him, you don't want to talk about it to him, you want him to be about it. So you're going to have to be about it. Don't be locked up on what he's supposed to be doing. Be locked up on what you're supposed to be doing so you can keep on respecting it. The more you respect it back, the more he can respect you back, and you guess what? It's going to be a natural flow. It's like two people in a boat. They got to learn how to row together. Okay? They got to learn how to row together. You can say one giving to the other and the other is receiving, but it's a together thing. Or it's hitting the water, moving at the same time, same speed. They give and take, they give and take, they give and take. Understand that. What are you giving? What are you taking? What are you taking? What are you giving? But understanding the lady in you, understanding the gentleman in him. And the gentleman in here is the lady that's within you, that's in him, that you match and blend so correctly. Only a lady and a gentleman can match. A man and a woman match within their man. A male and a female match within their male. But the only way you can blend with a gentleman is being a lady. The lady only connect to the gentleness. It has nothing to do with the man in him. That's just the extra. That's that extra. That's that protection. But guess what? When he goes to heaven, he can leave that protection on earth. He become a gentle angel. A gentle angel. If God ain't accept nothing in heaven unless a gentle angel, why should you? And your gentle angel on earth is a gentleman. And when he goes through heaven, he accomplished being a gentleman, and you select correctly. Stop giving God stuff to work they ain't worthy of you. It's a shame. Stop settling for a man. Look for a gentleman, but you got to be a lady. You got to be a lady to receive and truly own a gentleman. That's your guardian angel. But again, these spiritual enlightenment conversations, I hope you get some pleasure from them. Have a blessed day.